What's up, guys? I wanted to show you some things about the app and the workouts this week. So I'm just going to go right to Tuesday, which is a heavy day. True heavy day means that we're only lifting and the focus is on strength. So going as heavy as sound mechanics will allow, I like to say, and actually I heard this from Greg Glassman, a minus movement with a plus weights, meaning lift as heavy as you can with a minus movement. Um, and if you come from another CrossFit gym that did not do this, or they did just strength plus Metcon every day, so like anytime there was a strength piece, there was always a workout after it, then you're probably not used to lifting the way that we do on heavy days, which is where you rest, like as you can see here, at least 3 minutes between sets. The reason for that, well, first of all, if you went to any powerlifting or Olympic weightlifting gym, anybody who was a specialist in either of those domains, and you showed them this workout, they would just assume, okay, so I'm doing this for load. That means that I'm going to be doing a set like every 4 minutes or 5 minutes, resting to essentially complete recovery between each set so that you can lift as heavy as possible on each set and express the top end of your strength potential so that you can raise that ceiling. Now, can you raise the ceiling of your top end strength doing, an EMOM where you're doing a lift every minute on the minute, or doing strength plus then a Metcon, which just means that you have to shorten the strength piece, shorten the amount of time you have to rest, and also still have some in the tank for a Metcon. And there's a bit of a psychological thing that happens there where it's, hey, I still have this whole other workout coming up, so I'm not going to go as hard on the strength, or vice versa. Can you still get strong doing that? Yes, absolutely. But there's definitely a unique stimulus to a true heavy day where you're able to, again, express a higher potential of what you have in the tank for strength, essentially. Um, and it's just variance. Variance is a huge part of CrossFit so that we can be prepared for any type of physical task. And there's a reason why people whose primary focus is on building strength are going to do a lot of workouts like this to build their top end strength, especially. So just something to think about there. I know it can be like, man, this is it, or we're resting for 3 minutes. It's a long time. What am I going to do? Twiddle my thumbs. But it's a really important part of a well-rounded CrossFit program, and really important for longevity. I would argue that always doing strength and then a Metcon can produce gains, and it's definitely fun. I get it. It feels like you're getting a lot done. But in my experience, people who do that type of programming exclusively and every day, meaning there's not a lot of variance to it, end up burned out or injured or both. And they're the type of people who are like, yeah, I used to do CrossFit, but I got burned out on it, or I got injured. And yeah, so there's just a couple of reasons why. I know people have asked about that before, like, hey, is this it? Is this all we're doing? So all that to say, Tuesday's workout, there actually is a pre-workout strength piece before the heavy day, which this is primarily there to help you figure out your starting weight. Like, you should build in the pre-workout complex, and whatever you can do that complex with, like the heaviest load you can do that complex with, should be about where you start. So clean grip deadlift, clean pull, hang power clean, and then a below the knee power clean, which what that is, it's below the knee but still in the hang, meaning you're not able to get like the bounce off the floor. So that's going to limit you a little bit, but it's also training you to maintain tension throughout your body. So really cool complex there. And then we'll rest, and then we'll start the actual workout where you have 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 for load. So you do a set of 10, you rest about 3 minutes, you do a set of 8, rest 3 minutes, etc. And each one of those sets should be as heavy as you can do with a minus form. Um, Now it's going to be hard to determine. You might do your set of 10 and be like, oh man, actually, I think I could have done 12, or maybe you do 8 reps and you can't do the ninth rep. That happens. That's just part of working out. It doesn't mean you didn't get anything out of it. It just means you learned something, and put that in your back pocket, and you move on. You're still going to get strong. It's still going to benefit you. Um, and we're going to do it on a 20-minute clock, which means we're not just going to go every 3 minutes. We're actually going to lift roughly every 4 minutes, but we're just going to let you guys feel that out. So like rest about 3 minutes between sets, which means you may end up at the end with time for a sixth set, and we're going to let you do with that what you want. Maybe you do another set of two. Maybe you're just done. That's totally fine. That's the intent of the workout. Or maybe you're like, you know what? I haven't done a 1 rep max power clean in a long time. I'm going to go for it. I'm feeling warm. I'm feeling good. I'm going to hit a 1 rep here at the end of this 20-minute clock. That's fine as well. Which brings me to, let me show you guys how to look at your past lifts. Um, so first of all, on the workout, if there's a weightlifting movement on a heavy day like this, there should be something that says history. And I'm going to click on that. As you can see, it's not showing me any history, and you're like, well, that's weird because I know I power cleaned before, but it's tied to the specific rep amount. And on a variable rep count day like this, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, so it's not just all sets of two, it's just going to take the lowest one. So I'm going to click view workout description. This is going to show me when, like, uh, what the workout is it's comparing to. So apparently on oh no, this is today. Sorry. So it's saying like, okay, I'm looking for any previous 2 rep max power cleans you have, and I don't have any. Okay, because that's the lowest set. Now, since it's variable reps, and I'm like, well, I'd like to have an idea of what am I shooting for here? What have I done in the past? I'm going to go to home. I'm going to go to results. I'm going to go to my benchmarks at the bottom here, and scroll all the way across on the top to weightlifting. And I'm going to go to my power clean. There we go. So I just don't have a 2 rep recorded. That's why it's not showing me anything, but I can look at my 1 rep. I can look at my 3 rep, look at my 5 rep, and that's going to give me an idea of what I can shoot for in this workout. So for example, I see, okay, I've done 3 reps at 225, I've done 5 reps, 216. So 5 reps is like right in the middle of what we're going to be doing on this heavy day. So I would aim for myself personally, like a good goal for me, because I don't know how I'm going to be feeling. I'm going to say if I can get 215 for that set of 4, I'm going to feel really good about that because that's really close to what I've gotten for 5. If I can walk in on any given day and get a set of 4 cleanly, I'm really happy with that. And then from there, I'll just make a call for that set of 2. Like that felt good. I'm going to try. I know I've done 225 several times for more than 2 reps, so I might try 235 for 2 or whatever, just feel that out. Um, and those are all just like goals I have in my head. Maybe as I'm building up, it's not feeling great that day, and I'm just gonna, stay at 185 for the 4 rep and 205 for the 2 rep, and it's fine. It's not a PR. That's fine. I'm still lifting heavy, generating a lot of power, getting the stimulus of the workout. And on the other side of that, maybe you're building up, it feels really good. You're like, man, I just hit 4 for 215. Or maybe at that point you had been feeling good and maybe I hit 4 at 225 and I'm like, man, that felt really good. I'm gonna really go for it for the set of 2 and go for 255. And then I hit that. I'm like, all right, this is a good day. I'm gonna attempt a 1 rep max and maybe I PR my 1 rep max. This is just hypothetical numbers. I don't know if I'm going to hit that. Probably won't. That was shooting a little high. So anyway, I just want to show you guys that that's how you can look at your past results. And you can see I have some 1 rep maxes in here on the 1 rep max column. You can go over to 2. I don't have any. 3. I have a few from the past. Looks like I've done 225 a bunch. You can go over here to the 5 rep, and that was a PR 216, but apparently I've hovered around there a little bit. Um, So anyway, that's how you can do that. And then this is another thing I want to show you. So let's say in the workout of the day for Tuesday, October 28th, you do the 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, it's feeling really good, and you go for a 1 rep max and you hit it, or maybe you don't have a 1 rep max and you just want to establish one. Um, since what's linked in there is a 2 rep max, but you want to record a 1 rep max, um, you can come into this section of the app and manually add a 1 rep max. So I would just go to add and the date of whenever it happened, 1 rep at whatever it was. And then my notes, I could say it was on a 10-8-6-4-2 day and it felt good, so I went for it. Or you don't put anything. But then your 1 rep max should update. Then if you want to ever do any percentages off of that, there's a calculator right here, and you can go off of, you can see your percentages off of your 5 rep, 3 rep, 1 rep. Most of the time it'll be off your 1 rep max. Um, and there's just one more note there about percentages. We don't do a lot of percentage work, but like there was a workout last week or a couple weeks ago that was, um, it was an AMRAP, it was a Metcon, but there was a heavy deadlift, and I think it said 80 to 90%. And we had done a build to a heavy deadlift a couple weeks prior to that, but we haven't done like a true 1 rep max deadlift recently. So some people were like, "What am I supposed to do?" But think of the percentages as like RPE, rate of perceived exertion. Because we're not doing cycles of like, okay, this percentage this day, this percentage the next day, this percentage the next day. A lot of it's just going to be based on feel. Like 80 to 90% is like, okay, I can definitely do it, but it's pretty darn close to my max. Like that, it should feel like that, right? Or like I could do 2 or 3 reps, but I'm glad it's only one at a time in this workout because it's really heavy. That kind of a feel. It's definitely subjective, but it's just giving you a range for a general stimulus. And in that workout, like a deadlift close to 1 rep max deadlift, that's such a variable range for people because there's a lot of wide range in the deadlift. Um, it just makes sense to say deadlift at 80 to 90% instead of a prescribed weight just for a single rep. So anyway, just a little peek behind the curtain. Why do we do heavy days? You know, I don't even know if I said that. I mean, I told you what it is and why they're laid out the way they are, but uh, what it's going to help you with is obviously increase your 1 rep max, but it's going to make the barbell feel lighter on Metcons, and it's going to um, give you time and space to focus on your technique and not feel rushed. It's going to allow you to truly recover, to 100% or near 100% to um, increase that part of your fitness in a way that you're not going to do always doing shorter rest periods or always doing strength plus metcon. So um, great opportunity, fun day. You can sip some coffee between sets, go for it. I hope you guys enjoy that workout. We typically do a heavy day like this uh, once a week or once every other week. Sometimes the heavy day we'll throw a little more cardio in there or a skill just to give a little twist to it. But if it were up to, I mean, it is up to me. My personal preference, I would do a day like this every week, a true heavy day. Um, what we've landed on is one about every other week. We did put a 500-meter row for time at the end. We did that last time we did a heavy power clean day. So I thought it was appropriate to retest that. It was back on September 11th, I believe, of this year. So look back at that, and you can actually it'll link to that time anyway. If you go there it is, September 12th. Sorry, September 12th. 2025, there's my 500-meter time, but that's also the last time we did a power clean heavy day. So you could also manually go up here and go, oh, what did I do on September 12th? All right, it was a 5x5, and that's when I hit that 216 that was in my app. So there you go. I hope that's helpful, everybody. Just some things you can do with logging your workouts, looking at your numbers, weightlifting numbers, and there's also other benchmarks and stuff in there. So check it out. All right, hope that helps.